Okay, I'm back. And hopefully you're back too. This is a little bit unexpected, a return to the kitchen here and gone. I'm not ready yet, particularly fully ready, so I thought I'd rather be semi on time and be a little unprepared rather than be totally prepared and late. Is that a philosophy that you can agree with? But in any event, I'm glad to see you again. Let me know if you're there in the chat room, so to speak. I have quite a story for you tonight, and quite a song, really. That's in the way of that. Then I'll play a little blues like I've been doing at night. I've been playing blues. Check 1 2. Check check check. I've been playing a thing in the middle of the night called Blues in the Night. So I'll play a little bit of that. I might do you a song that I've been recording with Jamie Flynn for my next record, which is called Grace Notes. And things being what they are, that's not going to be ready before Christmas. That's all right, whatever. Comments. I'm looking there, just waiting to see if anybody's actually in the house yet, so to speak, in the kitchen with me. And if I get one person, that's always been my philosophy, that one person, if I get one person, I'm going to proceed with the song that took me 30 years to write, my new Christmas song. It's not recorded yet, and unless there is a kind of overwhelming groundswell of demand, I probably won't get it recorded in time for Christmas this year. John, hi, good, okay. Now we're rolling. Means that I'm not just talking to myself. I'm going out into cyberspace. John is a guy I met in a Christian bookstore years ago. He was sitting behind the counter playing a guitar. So I'm glad to still have a friendship with him all these years later. So I'm going to proceed with this Christmas song so that even if you're watching the rerun of this, you'll be able to, get to the Christmas song up front if you watch the replay. And I assume that since this is a very last minute thing, thanks, John. Since this is a last minute under the radar kind of appearance, I'm hoping that more people will watch it as a replay actually than catch it live. But here's the story, and Stampy is walking through the room as we speak. Okay, Stampy. He's checking his bowl. Hey, Jamie's here. Good. Your ears were burning. This is a song I started 30 years ago. And, you've heard stories like this before in the annals of songwriting where, people have ideas and they have them for years. But this one I really took to the extremes. I just had this idea. I really wanted to write it. And I didn't get it. It didn't fall into place organically until COVID started. And then I sat down on my couch and I just wrote it. And then the floodgates opened and I wrote like 50 songs during COVID. Well, whatever, be that as it may. I'll see if there's any use for many of them. then you have this huge task of, gee, you got to record them. And I'm not going to record most of them probably. But as a matter of fact, I am recording a song I wrote when I was 18 with Jamie Flynn. I'm recording it with him. We had Jimmy Vallone add percussion to it recently. But here's the song that took me 30 years to write. I wrote it shortly after my friend Ray Sumlock passed away. And I won't say much more about it. Just shut up and sing is the operative phrase here. It's called My First Christmas with You. Snow blanket on the sidewalk underneath my feet, yeah. Excited little children up and down the street. This Christmas, everything is new. 'Cause it's my first Christmas with you. It's like my very first Christmas, yeah. It's my first Christmas with you, yeah. Sweet chapel bells are ringing, singing soft and low. Friends wearing scarves and mittens stop to say hello. This Christmas, everything is new. 'Cause it's my first Christmas with you. I feel like a kid again, yeah. It's my very first Christmas with you. You've given me everything, love I've never known. And in our short time together, how our love has grown. And it keeps getting stronger. It's my first Christmas with you. I feel like a kid again. It's my very first Christmas with you. Okay. Hi, Scotzo. Good to have you, brother. That is the Christmas song that took me 30 years to write. Let me know. Should I record it? I think so. Actually, there's just a handful of people who heard it. I played it at church this past Sunday, and it was well received. And I also sent it to my friend David Spinoza, and I made a horrible demo. I was singing out of tune. I don't know what possessed me. Well, actually, I do know what possessed me. He does Christmas gigs every year with a famous singer, a big million-selling singer from Nashville named Brett Eldridge. And so I thought Spinoza might pass it along, and he said he would. He was nice. And he said, I'll inquire. So we inquired, and they said no. So that's the story of my life. They said, we don't listen to any outside material. Outside material, you know, songs that actually come from other people. Hey, thanks, Rob. Rob Trout is in the house of Rob Trout and the Flounders, which just basically is like just about the best name for a band I have ever heard. I want to alert you all to a happy announcement that I'm going to make, and that is Rob knows our mutual friend who's been here in the kitchen twice already, Alan LaBeouf. And Alan is going to come in January and do a very special gig here, which is really going to be an evening with Alan LaBeouf. I'm going to do a set where I just play piano, and we're going to do a lot of his songs, including You Fool, that he recorded in Nashville. And we're going to do such great, memorable tunes that he used to sing with a guy named Jimmy Long in restaurants, you know, in the cocktail hour, so to speak. And Alan has a beautiful version of Second Avenue, the song by Tim Moore that Art Garfunkel recorded. And so we're going to do songs like that. And I think, as far as I am planning this, it's going to be all piano songs. And well, I still have the acoustic in hand here. Oh, let me make a quick plug for. In some ways, I'm Mr. Christmas musically. Stampy's going to jump up on the table so that he can get in his bed. Oh, Jamie Flynn's in the house, Rob. So there you go. You guys can talk amongst yourselves. I have 3 Christmas albums out. Most people are aware of one of them because it's really been a little ambassador for me around the world. In fact, this is the album. Okay, Stampy, you got to stop. This is the album that James Taylor's mom, Trudy, called me up about to thank me for it. And many other people over the years have responded to it. It's called Silent Night, which is Christmas carols for acoustic guitar. I have to tend to Stampy for a moment here. Forgive me. Lord have mercy. Here I am dealing with the cat in the middle of my webcast. Gosh, Olive. So I'm going to hold up that album cover. I need to open the window for Stampy. So that means I'll be freezing and my guitar will go out of tune, but he'll be happy. You see how it works, folks, with cats? I think you know what I'm talking about. Okay, there are no copies left of this album. It's out of print. We went through 2,000 of them. Like I said, they've gone around the world, but it's on iTunes. You can download it. You can play, and Yes, I'll pass your greetings along to him. The Load is his other nickname. Um, so, a beautifully designed cover. This is a painting by my wife. And all I can tell you is I heartily endorse this Christmas album. Then a couple of years ago, I'm going to skip my second album. I don't even endorse it. It's called Oh Holy Night, and it was all keyboard and whatever. You'll find it if you go to iTunes. But this album is a real collection that I am very happy with. This is 7 songs. It's like an EP, and it is the glare getting to you? This is called Angels We Have Heard, which is Christmas music for the tipple. So I have a 10-string Martin tipple, which sounds like a big, deep mandolin, friends. And, oh, God, now I got to get my guitar again from behind me. And I think I've kind of painted myself into a corner. Is there an unspoken thought among you? Hey, Chip could make some money playing Santa Claus this year. Yeah, okay. My beard is long and my girth is growing. 3 months ago, my doctor told me after I went on insulin, I'm a diabetic, and he said, you might gain some weight. Oh, great. So I've gained about 15 pounds in the last month and a half. So, whatever, sad to use this stupid cliche, but it is what it is. I'll have to think of a Christmas story or two to tell you, because people like the stories they tell me. And quick drive-by, you're working for John Mayer today. Yeah, okay. Good deal. What a great artist, a great guitar player. Ann is out on the West Coast, and John must be playing up near her town, Sacramento, and she works at the theater. And she's met many of the greats, as some of you have. Oh, good. There's kind of like an active little group of people in the chat room right now. I ended my first Christmas with you with the first Noel. That's one of my favorite songs. It's always been one of my favorites to play. So let me get the guitar up a little bit here. That's a little flavor of my Guitar Christmas album, Silent Night. Except it's layered. There's lots of guitars. The Joy to the World has about 10 guitars on it. And I also did Carol of the Bells, the original classical arrangement, for about 12 guitars, and overdubbed all the parts in harmony. So that one you might like. Pardon me, now my nose is itching. And he's doing a radio station thing, and we'll be at the Fillmore. So that's where Ann works, at the Fillmore. Thank you. Hey, I'm glad to see you, Ann. And in the next couple of weeks, I'll do another one of these gigs, and I'll play some songs on the Martin Tipple for you. That's a Christmas album. Okay, I'm going to stop promoting material now. You know, if every one of you downloaded every single song I have on iTunes, which is, I don't know, I got 13 albums, so there's a number of songs there. And if you all downloaded them all, I'd make enough to pay for lunch for the next month. So it's hardly worth it, except for I just like to share with you these musical moments. I used to joke and say that this song is called Green Sleeves from January to November 30th, and then December 1st it turns into What Child Is This? But it's one of the most beautiful ones, and it goes like this. Missed the harmonic there. Okay. There is a virtual tip jar out tonight up at the top. If you scroll up, you'll see it in the section above that announces the name of the show. And thanks in advance for supporting this endeavor. I appreciate it. Anything you can share would be great. I'd appreciate it. Steve, hello. Good to see you. Hi, Bill. Good to see you, too. Boy, it's great. People kind of stumbled across this. I hardly even announced it. And Steve and I both went to Lafayette College, I think, at different times. I have tons of stories about that. I wrote a great deal of my first album in my first apartment off campus at Lafayette when I was really supposed to be studying and writing scholarly papers. I was writing Three Gamblers in that room. Well, let me do another song and then I'll maybe tell you a story. And I won't stay on forever here tonight. Even though I wrote 50 songs or so during COVID, I've gone back to this song that I wrote when I was 18, one of the first songs I ever wrote where things clicked. And I played it at a dive bar on Route 22 one time that used to have a go-go dancer that my friend Steve Philp and I used to play for. No, we didn't play for her. I guess we played on a night that she was playing. And Gigi was her name. But one of the first times I ever interacted with Jamie Flynn, the great blues drummer and other kinds of drummer, was I played this song that night when I was opening for Mike, Alan, and Jamie, and Steve, I think. I don't remember. Anyway, sorry. I don't remember if Steve was there. And Jamie became a champion of the song after that. And listen, we're talking about the numbers here add up. We're talking about 50 years ago this happened. And how could I still be playing this song 50 years later, you might ask yourself? Well, I don't know why, but the time seems right now for me to record it. And I went back to the guy who first encouraged me on it, Jamie Flynn, and I'm recording it at his place. And I'll keep you apprised of that. Some of you have even donated to that project, which is called Grace Notes. But I remember singing this in the house in Watchung, in the kitchen, and my mom sang harmony on it. It's called Jean. 7 o'clock on Saturday night, yeah. It's time to start work, even though you don't feel alright. Why must the show go on? You can't eat and you can't seem to sleep, no. You're never awake, and sometimes you seem dead on your feet. Why can't you see the light? Jean, you've been waiting so long for the dream that they told you would come. All those nights I have waited for you, and the day when you'd pack up your dream and come home. Jean, you've been singing so long, but they aren't really hearing the song, just the voice that it's coming through, not the love or the months and the years on the road. No, you can't quit it, it's gonna quit you. It's hard to accept when it hits close to home, it's true. But try and break the rule. Can't you see what I'm saying is right? If you force the rhyme, you'll be throwing away the night and breaking up the day. Jean, you've been waiting so long for the dream that they told you would come. All these nights I have waited for you, and the day when you'd pack up your dream and come home. Jean, you've been waiting so long for the dream that they told you would come. All the nights I waited for you, and the day when you'd pack up your dream and come home. Okay, so that's being made into a record, friends. I shall serve no rhyme before it's time. Terrible, terrible. I'm sorry to hear about your mom, Bill. Yes, I do remember her. And I hope to see her again someday. I was just talking about that house in Watchung. Arlene's here. Hi, Arlene. And that means Raj might be here too. Hi to both of you. I brought my tipple back to Central Jersey and played Roger some things on it one night at the Watchung Arts Center where we met. Arlene, did you hear my new Christmas song that took 30 years to write? It was at the beginning of the show. So if you didn't, you can rewind and watch it later. Just kind of noodling here. I've had many opportunities to play Christmas songs for people over the years, and blessed opportunities. I've played in nursing homes. That's one thing that James Taylor's mom, Trudy Taylor, told me. She said, "Can I give you some advice?" And I was like, "Mrs. Taylor, I'm all ears." And she said, "Don't forget people in nursing homes." And I said, I played a nursing home last week, a week and a half ago. Now I'm having some problems with this jack, so I'm very, very ginger here about this. I'm going to play a little blues on my Yamaha Revstar. This is a guitar that has a name. I name a lot of my guitars. This one's name is Sunset. So if Arlene and Roger in the house, I gotta play a blues. Stampy got a little spooked by that song. Let me mess around with my little artificial drummer here. I'll get some kind of blues thing going for you. Yeah, this is a blues beat. Too much reverb, sorry. Hang on a sec, Mr. Artificial Drummer guy. It's just too reverby, friends, for my tastes. One of the songs I might record on my first, on this first series of Grace Notes CDs, which I am kind of planning to make into a series. Maybe I'll play it now. I'll sing it and play it, and it's a blues that I wrote. I've never recorded it. And as Phil Keaggy once said about one of the songs he wrote called John the Revelator, that's actually a Blind Willie Johnson song, but he wrote a new verse to it after Phil Keaggy visited the island of Patmos, where John wrote the book Revelation. Hence Blind Willie Johnson's John the Revelator, get it? And Phil said one time, introducing this song, he said, I think it says something. So if I can remember this. If I can remember this lyric now. My heart is breaking, but I got no tears left to lose. My heart is breaking, but I got no tears left to lose. My way of crying is to sing and play the blues for you all. Even when I break down, my tears still refuse to fall, yeah. Even when I break down, my tears still refuse to fall, yeah. My way of crying is to sing and play the blues for you all, yeah. Pick it again, Wilson. My eyes are dry and weary, yeah. And heaven only knows who understands. My eyes are dry and weary, and heaven only knows who understands. My way of crying, yeah, is right here in my hands, yes. Okay, I got into that. It's a little pre-Christmas blues for you. Annie and I were asked by a beautiful little church in Hopewell, and I don't know, 5-10 years ago. The time just keeps rolling by, and we were asked to play a service the week before Christmas, and it was called Blue Christmas. And if it was for people who had suffered losses during the year. And I was a little skeptical in all honesty. By the way, there's a famous publishing company in California that's called the Christmas Company. And the guy and I had some interaction. He wanted to distribute my Christmas album once. And when I crunched the numbers and added it all up, I would have lost money on the deal for him to distribute my Christmas album to grocery stores and stuff like that. Here it is. I did 2 songs off of it tonight, The First Noel and What Child Is This? It's on iTunes and everywhere else. It's on Spotify, and I'm proud of it to a certain degree. Anyway, this guy wrote a song that Barbra Streisand covered, and he built his publishing company on that. And he said in his, thanks, Arlene. Oh, yeah, okay. Good, you're settling down in a motel or something, I'm guessing. Well, think about it. That motels can be a lonely place if you're alone, and people do spend Christmases in motels on the road. Not that you're going to do that, but so this guy out in California, he runs this publishing company. He goes, one thing I can assure you is we won't be publishing anything that's down. So he said, just think of this. Don't send us Blue Christmas, anything like Blue Christmas, the great Elvis song. We don't want it. And so I had, I don't know, a little bit of an attitude going into this Blue Christmas church service for people who had suffered loss during it. And I thought, can't we have one holiday where we just keep it upbeat? And so let me tell you what happened, friends. It was one of the most moving services I ever played, and Annie and I played it, and we encouraged hurting people with Christmas music and with some of our reminiscing about every Christmas isn't great for everyone. Every Thanksgiving isn't great. Annie's mom actually passed away on Thanksgiving, so we have that in our book of memories. But if I wrote another Christmas song, maybe I will attempt to write a Christmas blues someday, because there certainly are a lot of people out there who aren't living the dream. So we'd like to remember them. And maybe I'll remember them musically. Now, I'm just kind of in the mood tonight to just play out with a blues. I don't like this setting, so I'm going to take a minute here and treat you to some dead air while I find a setting that I like. That's horrible. Wait a minute. Yeah, I found this the other night. So this is a good little swing setting for the guitar. I'll play us out. This is what I've been doing late at night. And what key should I use tonight? I'll play a blues in the key of B to say goodnight to you. Thanks again for joining me. Look for me late at night this week with Blues in the Night. And as is often the case, I've posted a tip jar up top. So thanks in advance if you'd like to support this endeavor. I'll try to get through this before my guitar jack goes completely south here. Okay, it was good to see you again. God bless you. Have a good night. Watch this space. I'll be back.